Texas man sentenced to 25 years for attacking Asian family he thought caused COVID. Imagine that. A 21-year-old man will spend 25 years in prison on hate crime charges after attacking an Asian family he believed to be responsible for the COVID-19 pandemic, according to a news release from the Justice Department. Jose Gomez III of Midland pleaded guilty in March 2020 to 3 counts of committing a hate crime. According to the release, he was sentenced Thursday. According to facts, Gomez admitted to in his plea he entered a Sam's Club in Midland behind an Asian family with young children. He said he had never seen them before, but thought they were a threat because they were from the country who started spreading that disease around, he said in his plea. Right? Gomez went to find a serrated steak knife in the store that he bent, so the blade rested against, what's that? I guess the main knuckles, his knuckles, when he was holding it. The sharp edge facing outward, according to the Justice Department. He then found the family again and punched the father in the face, cutting him. Then turned to the young children, at the time 6 and 2 years old, seated in the front basket of the shopping cart. He slashed at the children and cut open the face of the 6-year-old child, cutting millimeters from the child's right eye, splitting his right ear. Wow, they need to proofread here to say his right ear. They mean his right ear. And then wrapping around to the back of the skull. According to the Justice Department, he also stabbed a white Sam's Club employee who intervened to stop Gomez, look at this error right here, Gomez, from further assaulting the Asian family. Gomez admitted in his plea that he intended to kill the 6-year-old boy, according to the Justice Department. While being held down to the ground, Gomez yelled for the Asian family to get out of America, according to the Justice Department. Pandemic-driven and racially motivated acts of violence are deplorable crimes, and the Justice Department stands ready to use our hate crime laws to hold perpetrators accountable. Assistant Attorney General Kristen Clark for the Justice Department Civil Rights Division said in the release, hate crimes targeting Asian Americans have spiked during the pandemic and must be confronted. All people deserve to feel safe and secure living in their communities, regardless of race, color, or national origin. FBI Special Agent in Charge Jeffrey Downey at the FBI El Paso field office called the attack cowardly and racially motivated and said they don't represent the West Texas community. It is our hope today's sentence will help the victims with the healing process, Downey said. Rest assured, the FBI and our law enforcement partners will aggressively pursue anyone who commits these violent acts to ensure the civil rights of Americans are protected. The case was investigated by the FBI and Midland police. Okay, so this is Yahoo. They didn't open up the comment section. Now this is interesting because normally you see like a number of the cases where you have black people attacking Asian people, the comment section will be open, and you see a lot of racist comments, where they conflate black people. When I call them to the police, usually the black people committing these crimes tend to be mentally ill. That's on record. I call them to, at least in New York. That's what the police here said. These people tend to be homeless, mentally ill. They don't represent the black community, have nothing in common, but people usually conflate it in the comment section to say, well, this is the black people doing this. So here, this guy here, he's definitely not black based on his name, and the area, the part of the country he's from. And yet, people are not allowed to comment, and this is a very heinous crime, to tell somebody go back to China, and the kids were young, like 6 and 2 years old, I believe. So, I mean, what are the chances somebody who's right here at the time, 6 and 2 years old? So chances are, if you're 6 and 2 years old, chances are you're born here in America, Yeah. Chances are you're born here. I mean, it's possible you could come here on a visa, but chances are, at those ages, especially, you end up in Texas, Texas is not one of the major immigrant states for people coming out of China, maybe like New York, California, or so forth. So these are people who probably been living here already or established, and yet they have to be seen as foreigners, which is really, really despicable what's going on in this country.